Hello everyone, this is Travis Mariah Care, and today I'll be discussing to you the Romantic movement. So, this is just the first part of our report. So, yes, my pair is Miss Carlotte Cordero, and the second part of our report, yes, will be discussed by her. Okay, so let's start the discussion. Mm-hmm. So there are four topics to be discussed under Romanticism. We have lyrical ballads, tenets of Romanticism, old legends, and folk ballads. So may I ask if you have any idea of this, or have you heard this mentioned topics? Okay, so let's start discussing it now one by one. Okay, so without further much ado, let's know first what is Romanticism or the Romantic movement. So it is said that it was a wave of literary expression originated in Europe towards the end of the 18th century. So it is an artistic, literary, musical, and intellectual movement. So in this period, emphasized the emotional and spiritual values as well as its deep engagement with nature and the human self. So in this period, we are focusing on the romantic things, of course, the love or loved or the loved for nature, the loved for ourselves, and all the emotions and all the things that concerns the emotions, the beliefs, and etc. So it caused a revolutionary stir in the history of English poetry and rhythmic composition. So by the way, it is the next period right after the Age of Reason or the Enlightenment. So here, to put it simply, we are going to use our heart, our emotions, not our minds or our intellectual abilities. Just like because if we use our rational thinking, I mean, if the writers are going to use their rational thinking, their critical thinking, then that will fall on the age of reason or the age of enlightenment. So here our more concern is about the emotions, the feelings of human and our perception of nature. So next we have lyrical ballads. So I guess you have heard this already, and I will still be discussing it as review na lang. Okay. So what is lyrical ballads? So it is a collection of poems by William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge. So you have to remember these two because they are really well known on the concept of a lyrical ballad. So it was first published in 1798 and it was considered as the romantic movement in literature. These two individuals made some draft of lyrical ballads, and many have noticed it when they read it, and then that's the point, or that's the moment that they have decided that it was already the beginning of the romantic movement. Next, it is only written in a simple language and a simple meter, to express the universal experience of common people in rural setting. So yes. So this is the example of the Lyrical Ballads. It is written by William Wordsworth. Yes, so the title is The Solitary Reaper. So if you have time, you can read it on the Google Classroom because I will be posting this also. So before proceeding to the next, I'll just give you the brief summary of this poem. So in this poem, the poet tells about a girl, or shall we say a Highland lass, yes, a Highland lass, who is in a field alone. So when we say amnesia, ano siya be for example sa Humayan, something like this sa Taronan. And as she is harvesting the crops, she is singing in a sad tune, which it echoes in the deep valley. So, so the purpose of the speaker here is to tell us or ask us to stop, to take a pause for a while and listen to her tune. So, the speaker or the narrator admires the girl a lot of how she sang with her emotions, and that the narrators told other people, or told us the reader, to take a pause and listen to that girl. Next we have these romantic poets. We have only two, okay? So hindi nyo na sila pagkalimtan, diba? Okay, we have William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge. So let me introduce them to you one by one. Yes, so we have William Wordsworth. He is one of the most popular English romantic poet. He's best known for his lyrical ballads. So this I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, it is one of his works. So if you have time, or yes, you can read it. It's just a short poem. And Wordsworth writes verses flushed with, take note, emotional vibrancy and naturalistic scenes. So when he write poems, he is really concerned with the emotions, and he also includes the nature in it. Just like for example the cloud. So I wandered lonely as a cloud. So he described himself as a cloud, and he described a cloud as a lonely thing above. Okay. Next we have Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Coleridge is also a friend of Wordsworth. He was an English poet also, and a literary critic, a philosopher, and a theologian. He is the founder of Romantic movement in England, and he is a member of Lake Poets. So when we say Lake Poets, they are a group of English poets who all lived in the Lake District of England, United Kingdom, during the first half of the 19th century. So he is a part of it. Coleridge is known also for his longer poems, just like for example the Rime of the Ancient Mariner and Christabel. So yes, his surname Coleridge means a writer of poems. So the Rhyme of Ancient Mariner. It has 143 stanza. Yes, it is a longer poem. This poem is written in iambic meter. The first and the third lines, though, of each regular stanza containing four, and the second and fourth, it contains 3 feet. So the regular stanza form has 4 lines with a rhyme scheme A, B, C, D. So the main themes in the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner are sin and penance, the power of prayer, and the mystery and the supernatural. Um, Sin and penance after sinning by killing the albatross. So the mariner here has killed someone, and that um gaano siya gahinulsol siya. He's telling a story of how he regret things that he have done. So um the brief summary of this story is that um there is a man on a voyage by ship who in one is impulsive and did a heinous act, and it changes the course of his life and death. So the mariner faces an inner struggle over the crime he has committed. Kay grabe iya nga regret sa iya nga ginhimo. And then he was able to tell his story before he died on a wedding guest about how he killed, about how he felt at the moment, and how he suffered, something like that. And yes, the mariner faces an inner struggle over the crime he has committed and must understand his actions and perform his penance. So that's what he said to the wedding guest, that he knows someone who did, or yes, that someone is him, who did something heinous crime, and then that someone has trying so hard to understand what he did and perform, of course, his penance, or how um, how how can he deal with it, or um, what will be his mindset, or what will be the actions he need to do, so that lessen man ng iyang mga regrets, and maka-move on na siya, something like that. Okay, next we are now in our second topic, the tenets of romanticism. So these are the tenets of romanticism. We have 10: the glorification of nature, awareness and acceptance of emotions. So when you say tenets, these are the principles in romantic period, principles or belief. Dra lang siya, kumbaga dra lang nag-evolve ang romanticism, or the works that is under romanticism. So we have the glorification of nature again, awareness and the acceptance of emotions, celebration of artistic creativity and imagination, emphasis on aesthetic beauty, beautiful, aesthetic means beautiful. Themes of solitude, focus on exoticism and history, spiritual and supernatural elements, vivid sensory descriptions, yes, use of personification, and focus on the self and autobiography. So, if we have, if I would report this during our online class, it will be better if I'll let you discuss this one by one, so that the class will have interaction. And yes, it is quite comprehensible naman sa title pa lang. Okay. Let me discuss this then one by one. So first we have glorification of nature. So the nature plays a huge role in romantic literature. So like what I've said earlier, romanticism focuses mainly on nature and the self, the emotion, the feelings, and all. Then nature is a powerful symbol work in this era as the love of nature. And romantic poets and writers give personal, deep descriptions of nature and its wild and of course powerful qualities. So they really focusing on nature, on how the nature control us human, or how humans control nature, or the relationship between humans and nature. So uh, that's the that's the main emphasis of um, romantic romantic writers in writing their literary pieces. Next, and the example of this is The Autumn by John Keats. So I guess some of you have read it already. Mhm. Next we have, so number two, we have this awareness and acceptance of emotion. So a focus on emotion is the key characteristic of nearly all writing from the Romantic period. You'll see feelings described in all forms, including romantic and filial love, the fear, the sorrow, the loneliness, and more. So this focus on emotion offered counterpoint to the rational. So when we say rational, it is the capability of a person to reason or to think critically, to make decisions and something like that. So this one, it offers a counterpoint to the rational idea, and it also made our romantic poetry and prose extremely readable and relatable. Okay, of course, mm, it is relatable since mostly their topic, or their main theme um, is about feelings in all forms, like what I have mentioned: the filial love, fear, sorrow, loneliness, and more. So many are uh, damo gid siya ga kainggan nga mag, or damo gid siya ka relate. Okay, number three, we have celebration of artistic creativity and imagination. So here, gina-emphasize ang imagination, the importance of imagination and creativity. So ang writers here, or the Roman poets and prose writers, celebrated the power of imagination and creative process. So, as well as, of course, the artistic viewpoint. So, they believed that artists and writers look at the world differently, and because of that, they have the freedom, of course, to celebrate that vision. And in celebrating that vision, of course, they are creating works or literary pieces, any work, something like that. Okay. Okay, next we have emphasis on aesthetic beauty. So it is said that romantic literature also explores the theme of aesthetic beauty, not just of nature but of people as well. So this one is the example, She Walks in Beauty by George Gordon. So yes, we also have the themes of solitude. So writers of the Romantic era believed that creative inspiration comes from solitary exploration. So when we say solitary exploration, um, in their pieces, for example, they are celebrating the moment, like for example, being alone, whether that meant that loneliness or a much needed quiet space to think and create. So for example, Frost at the Midnight by Coleridge. So here, they did not just make happy, wonderful feeling as a theme. They also celebrated the emotion of loneliness. When we say, to put it simply, the writers also value loneliness in 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 creating their works, or making loneliness as the theme of their works. Kaya diba, as what I've said, they are more concerned in emotions. So any form of emotions is included. So focus on exoticism and history. So they do not just focusing on mere emotions and feelings. They also focuses their concept or their settings, other works, on some exotic locations or events or items in history. So, diba, as you noticed, there are really poems that ang title niya is like the antique jar. So himuan na nila poem, something like that. Amo na siya ding, that's the point of our number 6. So poems and prose touch on antiques and the gifts of ancient cultures around the world. So the gifts of our ancient people, our culture, then they also value it, and include man nila sa on their writings. Okay, I'm so haggard na. At last we're on number 7. So spiritual and supernatural elements. So these are also included in romantic movement. So writers explored also the contrast between life and death. So many pieces have Gothic motifs, such as the manor houses. So as you can see in the picture I have provided, it's the example of a manor. Is it manor or manor? Houses in disrepair, guba-guba. The dark and stormy nights, so this is the dark and stormy nights also, and more. So yes, gina-include man nila mga supernatural elements. Let's move on to the next. So next we have vivid sensory description. So to put it simply, the writers uses figurative language, or yes, or simile, metaphor, imagery, as well as visual imagery and other sensory details. Kaya para, of course, ma-feel some readers or some readers the emotion, like they are on it at the moment, and that, like, if the character was hurt, then the readers would also feel hurt, pained, something like that. Okay. Okay, we also have the use of personification, wherein ang person be himuan nila poem gamit ang nature, ang trees. So personification from birds and animals to natural events or aspects. So these words even personify feelings like love or states like death. So pwede siya i-example ang I wandered lonely as a cloud of Who's this writer? Kanina? Oh my gosh. It was William Wordsworth, yes. Pwede siya example de. Then we have another example, The Trees of Amazon by Karl von Martius. Okay, next. So next we have Focus on Self and autobiography. So this means that their literary works were deeply personal and often explore the self of the writer. So may nabasa ko I have read. I guess that's the prelude. It is a kind of a autobiography of Wordsworth, and he started writing it at the age of 27 or 28, and it was published before he died. So yes, autobiography siya nga type. So isa man na siya ka-element sang or isa man siya ka-tenet sang romanticism ang autobiography. So we also have another example, the John Jacques Rousseau Confessions. Next, we're now in our third topic, old legends. So what is the old legends? So yes, these are the stories that have, these are stories that have been passed down from generation to generation. So these are stories with an element of truth, and it also became a part of the culture of the people, and usually they impart lessons. So you might be asking if when did legends have started? So it is said that it began as soon as humans have mastered the technology of writing. So legends does not only been passed down through generation orally, but there are also written. Okay, so for example, these are the legends that refuse to die. We have Dracula, the Legend of Atlantis, and Robin Hood. So, I have watched Dracula na, the Legend of Atlantis, Robin Hood, the Hitchhiker, and the Ghost. The Hitchhiker, it means ara ba lang mga white lady nga gabantay da sa kilidalan, and then kung may mag-agi nga motor, masakay sila tapos mabalaan na lang sa driver nga kapadulong sila, then mabala na lang sa driver kung ara na sila sa ilang destination, mabala na lang sa driver nga wala na siya. So that's the Hitchhiker, the Ghost. Then Bloody Mary, have you heard of Bloody Mary? Of course you have watched Bloody Mary. Arang atin to. If you write daw tatlo ka Bloody Mary sa mirror using of course the blood, mag-appear do si Bloody Mary. Then of course we have Greek mythology and the legend of Lady Godiva. I think you have heard the legend of the Lady Godiva. Ang story niya is she has a husband, and ang husband niya nagpasaka-tax sa mga tao, and Lady Godiva don't want it. So against siya sa iya husband. So to put everything back into normal, he asked his husband to kung ano ba lang pwede niya himuon para magbalik sa normal ang tax na ginabayaran sa tao. Then her husband said na he will bring everything back to normal if Lady Godiva would walk around their village naked. So yes, because Lady Godiva loved her people, then because she have seen how the people suffer, so she did that. She walked around naked. And isang nabalaan na isang tawod ang ilang kondisyon. They also nagpanago sila sa ilabalay, and they promised themselves na or they promised to Lady Godiva na hindi sila maglantaw. So bali ara sila sa sulod nila balay, and then hindi sila maglantaw samtang nagaagi si Lady Godiva. And then may isa to, if you search this ang titles niya, then kato ko sa images, ang cover, kumbaga book, ang cover is may gagawa nga ulo. So that was Peeping Tom. Siya lang ang naglantaw kay Lady Godiva nga galakas sa gwa. So yes, ang una siya. Siya to ang isang nabalaan to na siya, nabulag siya si Tom. So yes, that's it. We're familiar with the Greek mythology, diba? Legend of Atlantis, so it is movie. And may rumor nga ang Atlantis daw is true. So kin compare siya sa Bermuda Triangle. So yes, that's the old legend. So by the way, as you can see, there are highlighted and underlined words. So these are links. It is not just a normal highlighted phrase. It is a link. So if you click that, the slide will jump to another slide. Okay, try nyo lang na sa PowerPoint sa Google Classroom. Okay, let's proceed. So here, kung i-click nyo tong link, kamo na siya rin nyo siya ma-jump. So I did not provide you the other pictures kaya wala na ko load. We have the Dracula. This is the Atlantis. Kita nyo may mga statue or sa dalom kaya naglubog daw na mga island. Then we have Robin Hood. Next we have folk ballads. So ballads are meant to be a song-like and to remind readers of oral poetry. So or parents singing a lullaby to children for them to sleep right away, or of ancient poets reciting their verse to give the live audience. Or these are anonymous, and these recount tragic, comic, and heroic stories with emphasis on a central dramatic event. So a ballad can be also described as slow songs in jazz or rock music. So it does not have same formal consistencies, kumbaga kung ano-ano lang madamdaman. So I have provided you a link para maintindihan nyo kung anong folk ballads, diba? So in contemporary music nga, kumbaga subong, we also use the term ballad. Have you heard the word ballad? So ASAP and si ano gani ang atin nga ballad songbird. Is it the ballad songbird? Si Miss Regine Velasquez. Yan siya na. Ang Pinoy. Then we have example here. I am Moana. Diba? Doon siya. Yeah, it is one of the example of folk ballad. Then the Sailor Laddie by Frankie Armstrong. Actually, ang link nga gin-provide ko amo na siyang Sailor Laddie. So i-click niyo lang na kay kanang pamatian. Okay, next we have the characteristics of folk ballads. So simple language, yes, simple language lang siya. Then stories, ballads are also called narrative poems. Ginakanta lang siya. And ballad stanza, traditional ballad stanza has ABAB rhyme scheme. Okay, and ang ballad song, it has refrain or a repeated section. Next, dialogue. Ballads often incorporate characters, so the voices change. Para ba lang, girl siya, tapos gin-emphasize na bing humble sang iyang father, so naglain ang tone. something like that. Amo na siyang folk ballads. So yes, this is the last part of my presentation. So I hope you learned something from it today. So the next topic will be discussed by Miss Carlotte. Ano niya na lang siya. So I have prepared here a 10 item test lang and another 10 item test for by Carlotte. Okay. I'm sorry if hindi niya ko kiss a maintindihan. It's just that dugay naman kami nga wala ka report. Reasons. Okay. Sige. So that's all. Thank you for listening. So, bye-bye. So by the way, ang quiz galaara lang sa sa G Classroom. Dito niyo na lang i-access. Okay. That's all. Yes, this is my last page. So, okay na. 36 minutes akan report. My gosh. Okay. Again, thank you and God bless everyone. I'm signing out. Bye.